Tetreault, the Agronomy Extension Specialist with the Saskatchewan Wheat Development Commission. We're currently in a wheat field just north of Saskatoon, and as you can see, it's fully headed out and into anthesis, which makes this a really great time to talk about wheat midge. So we're getting to the end of the wheat midge stage here, but as soon as your wheat crop comes out of the boot and that head starts to emerge, you're at risk for midge damage. So how do we know if we're in a high-risk area for wheat midge? Well, we can check the wheat midge forecast map, and this map is available on saskwheat.ca under the Agronomy tab. We have a whole tab dedicated to wheat midge resources, and you can find that there. We did see an increase in the red areas, which are the high-risk areas, coming from 2020 into 2021, and these are based off of fall counts of wheat midge. So if you are in a high-risk area, you can take a look at that map. It's probably time to start scouting. A lot of these regions, are coming, the head is coming out of the boot, so it's time to start looking for wheat midge. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So if we've identified that we're in a high-risk area and you got at least 25 mils of rain in May, that's what it takes for the hatch to start, with the adult to come out of the ground, and they're going to start laying eggs. All right, so we're going to come out here on a nice evening. You want the temperature to be above 15 degrees Celsius and the wind below 10. We're going to take a look. So if we've identified we're in a high-risk area and we got that rain in May, we're going to crouch down in the field, eye level, and we're going to identify 10 heads. So there's currently 2 thresholds for wheat midge, and we're looking at, so if we're looking to preserve yield, it's 1 wheat midge for every 5 heads. So we can identify 5 heads, crouch down so you're kind of eye level, let everything settle down, and then identify those 5 heads and count the wheat midge you see. So wheat midge are going to look like little orange mosquitoes. They're like 2 to 3 millimeters long. They're very dainty. They have big black eyes. There's 2 eyes and 2 black antennae. So that's what we're looking for. You can find more identification photos and scouting tips on our Wheat Watch on wheat midge, and that'll also cover the wheat midge forecast map. But then if we're looking to preserve optimum grade, we're actually looking for 1 wheat midge in every 10 heads. So if you're looking to maintain that grade, you crouch down, find 10 heads, count the wheat midge in those 10 heads. And wheat midge cause damage because when the adult wheat midge lays an egg in the developing wheat head, they hatch into larvae, and those larvae eat and feed on the developing kernels. So that can cause scarring, distortion, shriveling, and really it can cause yield loss, obviously, and it can also reduce our grade. So that's important to keep in mind. And obviously, if you identify that you're at threshold, there are chemical options available. Currently, there's 2 chemical options. We have chlorpyrifos, which is also known as Lorsban. This is actually being phased out, so it'll be available for this year and into next year, but the stock will be limited. But that's being phased out. So our other option is dimethoate, which is also known as Saigon or Lagon, and you can find more about these products in the Saskatchewan Guide to Crop Protection. You can find the rates and the stages, but it's really important to keep in mind that these products will kill beneficial insects that are present in the field at the time of application. So in this field, we're actually coming to the end of the stage where wheat midge can cause damage. So we can see we're coming to the end of flowering on most of the main stems here, and that's where they cause their most damage. So applying an insecticide this late in the season would probably do more harm than good. So that's something to keep in mind as well, because we really want to protect those beneficial insects so that we don't, inherit the work of them, because they really manage our pest populations pretty well. So that's important to keep in mind. And if you do know that you're in an area that's, prone to wheat midge damage, or you've seen issues with them in the past, you can consider growing wheat midge tolerant varieties. And so these varieties have been developed really well. There's no yield penalty to growing them, and they're a pretty great way to manage wheat midge damage. So you can easily identify most of these varieties by their name. They have a VB in the name, and what that stands for is varietal blend. So what it means is that 90% of that blend is going to be tolerant to midge damage. They have a mutation to the SM1 gene, which makes them resistant to wheat midge damage. The other 10% is susceptible to wheat midge damage, and that just acts as your refuge in the bag. So these varieties are a really great option for us to manage wheat midge if we know they've been an issue for us in the past and we have a history with them, or we're looking towards next year and we think, there's monitoring those fall counts and forecast maps this coming fall. So that's our information. You can find more information on wheat midge on our website, saskwheat.ca. Under the agronomy tab, there's a whole section dedicated to wheat midge, so you can take a look there. You can always reach out to me via email or cell phone. My contact information will be at the end of the video.